Good morning. It's Thursday, November 2nd, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Qigong. We have foundation sets this morning, sets 1 through 9. We're going to pay attention to sets 1 and set 8 today. Yeah, I know, 1 and 8. And I'm going to talk a little bit more on this idea of foundations and what do we really need to pay attention to, what should we be paying attention to, and how do we figure out, how do we, for ourselves, not just somebody saying, oh well, this is this, right? How do we figure out for ourselves what is or is not correct? Let's get started. I was up much earlier, and there's quite a few things that are going on, so I'm thinking through, what about this and what to do with that. And in that process, looking at all of the things that I'm doing in these classes together with some of the other things that I have planned. So this focus for right now on foundation work. What's the basis? Where does that start? I've talked about the foundation that I have, my history, why am I still here? That foundation that I developed so many years ago and have continued to develop with different forms of practice for the past 40 plus years. All of that contributes to me being here today and to what I'm looking forward to doing in the future. Now, some things I've looked at, yeah, I used to be able to do that. I'd like to be able to do that. It's probably never going to happen. Other things I've looked at and said, well, it could. It's possible. We can work on that. And it's possible. That is one of the things that I want to stress and I want to encourage. Looking at doing something that is impossible for you. It's probably never going to happen. I will tell you something. I am never going to be able to take a standing position, jump up, do a flying spinning kick, and drop back down. It's not going to happen. There was a time when I wanted to be able to do that, and I still would like it. It'd be great. Put me in a harness that somebody is holding and pull the rope and I'll go up and we can do it. That's probably the only way it's going to happen. I'm not going to work for it. So it's not going to happen. Recognizing that is part of the foundation that you need to create for yourself. What am I working on now? What might I work on later? What have I done previously, right? Today's focus on foundation, and you see me just standing here, right? That's foundation. And I'm going to talk about that at probably quite a bit more detail than anybody wants, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, my foot position on the floor, flat shoes, I got plenty of room to spread my toes out, okay? And that idea that if my fingers were my toes, right? This one's not long enough, right? My fingers are my toes. They're open just a little bit and gripping the floor just a little bit. So just a little, not just a little. so that the space between the big toe and the second toe is open, and just below the arch, just below where those two toes are, the yungchuan is also open. The side of the foot, outside of the foot, rests gently, not really pushing down, rests gently along the side, on the outside. The arch of the foot pulls up, and all of the small bones around the ankle are well held and well placed so that the space between them is comfortable. The heel sets down, so the toes grip, the heel sets down, the arch of the foot pulls up, the side of the foot rests gently so that your foot feels well placed and comfortable resting on the ground. And we're still standing there. You should be paying attention to all of these tiny details. The knee is bent just a little bit, my hip is bent just a little bit as I'm talking. I'm standing straight, but my knee is bent just a little bit so that I have more circulation. And wiggle the toes, right? That foundation stand there. Stand there. Bend the knees just a little bit, not a lot. That's too much. So, not straight, just a little. Just relaxed enough that you can feel that there's a bend in the knee. Pull up through the back. Relax the shoulders. Smile. Open the arms just a little bit. Stay there. Don't pay attention to your feet. Pay attention to what your feet are doing. That's all you have to pay attention to right now is your feet. Are your toes relaxed? Are they too tight? Are they too loose? Is your weight too far forward or too far back? Should be well placed and well centered over both feet. Is your stance too wide? Is your leg straining to keep this position? It should not be straining. It should feel very natural. All right, relax. Just standing there. That's an exercise. It is. If that foundation, placing the foot on the floor, being able to work through the foot, so push up the heel, push down the heel, flex the foot, push through, set the heel, drop the toe, set the heel, reach through the toe and drop it down. So different than push up through the heel, push down through the heel, pull up the toe, now reach with the toes. Each of those simple movements develops what we can do through the foot so that we have that foundation. If I wear ballet slippers, and these are not ballet slippers, they're sneakers, right? If I wear ballet slippers, there's pretty much nothing between me and the floor. There's not supposed to be. My foot's supposed to do the work. The rest of me has to come too, but the foot's supposed to be able to do the work. and it should be visible and well formed. So the movement through the foot should be polite. Ballet, right? It should be polite, it should be smooth, it should be extended, it should have a nice shape to it. My feet never had that really nice shape. There were some other people in the class that when I was studying that had really pretty feet. Mine were not. But I knew how to use the movement to create that sense of well-formed, well-placed, extended reach, just the same as I'm doing with my hand right now, through the foot, so that as I was moving, that coordination through the foot was easily visible and helped support everything that I was doing, regardless of what kind of movement I was doing. Without that, and we're going to start in just a second, without that, there's no root. The movement is empty. No matter how much strength, no matter how many years of practice, no matter anything else, if there's no foundation, literally, if there's no root, if the foundation through the feet and the legs is not substantial, nothing else will be. I can't create that substance if I only use my shoulders. I've seen people try. It doesn't work. It doesn't. It shows, and they're top heavy. It shows in their body balance, and you can see it. I used to teach class on that. I'd take people out to where there was some event that we could watch, and point out what the issues were with some of the movement, and point out the good ones too. I always complimented people where I could. But that sense of I can create that foundation from the waist up. No. It has to be included, but the foundation has to come from the bottom all the way up. Not stop halfway through. So that separation between the upper body and the lower body is, we're going to work on that today too. That is something that we developed so that we can move independently. My upper body can move independently of my lower body. I want to be able to do that. I do. At the same time, in all of the martial arts, as well as all of our Qigong sets, we want the upper body and the lower body to be well coordinated, so that whatever movement is going on, it's a whole body movement, not just one part or another part. If we don't learn how to move those parts independently, we can't learn how to move them together. The level of understanding that comes from trying to not move, I'm trying to not move my hands right now. I'm also trying not to move my head, and it's harder. It really is. That effort is something that we want to pay attention to, we want to cultivate. How we move depends as much on what we're doing. Let me just put it another way. How we move depends as much on what we're not doing as what we are doing. So a movement, you have to do something. We also, in doing whatever that movement is, there are also things that we are not doing. And we need to pay attention to those as well. Just like I was not moving. Feet about shoulder width apart, wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Basic stretch, hands circle to the front, back around to both sides, up along the center line, and reach out. Nice and easy, bend the knees. Not too fast, not too slow. Take it easy. Pay attention to that foundation I was just talking about. What are your feet doing? One more time. Fingertips reach up, elbows drop down, wrists, hands return to your sides. Alright, as we practice, begin at extreme emptiness. Pay attention to your feet. Pay attention to your breath. Pay attention to keeping the whole body relaxed. And pay attention especially to all of the small muscles, all of the small bones in your feet and your ankle. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Nice and easy. Pay attention to the foot position so that your foot remains well placed, relaxed, open, and your ankle can move freely. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. 2 more. And last time, breathe in. Hands separate, down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in. Breathe out. Pull up through the back. As you breathe in, extend and pull in through the front as you breathe out. Holding the ball, ward off, pull down. We're here, right? And this motion carries the upper body, right? So I was talking about that, the idea of the foundation through the feet, through the legs, through the whole body. If I do this movement and only move from the waist up, that's what it looks like. That's it. Something's missing, yes? This turn. Stand here. I'm going to exaggerate this. So my foot's well placed. I've turned as far as I can without turning my foot, without hurting my knee. Okay, so the knee's not sticking out all the way over here. The knee's straight over the toes. I've turned through the hip, into the leg. This arm comes around. That's exaggerated. We're not doing that much, right? And that idea that we make the movement bigger so that we can see it more easily and then we bring it inside so that it's smaller. Smaller. That extension from the heel up through the leg into the waist and around the shoulder is what brings the arm up. That's how you do that movement. Right? If all that you're doing is something from the shoulder, the movement will always be incomplete. It will always be it won't be full. It won't be the whole body. And the extension through the movement will be there. Foundation. What part of the foundation that you have needs to be there in order to do this movement? Well, we're going to start with the feet. The feet have to be well placed, well centered. The weight has to be well coordinated. And as we move, the muscles and tendons and ligaments need to respond to the direction of movement so that instead of being forced, the movement is comfortable and relaxed, naturally energetic, naturally soft, but not empty. It's not empty. That's it. Each time we move, pay attention. I'm going to focus on just this one part of this movement right now. Pay attention to this shift. Sink into the heel, twist back, twist around. Here. Pay attention to that. We're going to do this 3 times, each side. Feet about shoulder width apart. Relax the breath. Pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in, palms up. Breathe out, press down. Shift to the right. And extend left. Come back to center. Shift to the left. Set the heel and twist. Open. And come back. Set the heel, turn. Open. Left heel. One more time. Right side. Left side. And come back to center. Hands down on both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Breathe in. And breathe out. Alright, second part of this movement. Wardog pull down. This idea that as we extend outward, we also extend upward and we push downward so that we've got a nice, firm foundation for that extension. Yeah, no. Right? No. I'm leaning. My arm went there. No. Yeah. Not. Let me say this another way. It's not as important how far out your leg goes, how low your stance is, right? So the knees shouldn't go out past the toes. No. Yes. I'm here. not here. Knee doesn't go past the toes. As I set, my back leg could be straighter, could be more extended. I can also keep my knee bent, right? I should, it should. Shouldn't be locked straight, right? That extent of movement is less important than whether or not the foundation for the movement is correct. So, big wide step and I'm off balance. Smaller step and I'm very much in balance. Which one is correct? It's not really a question, really. The one that's off balance is not correct. That effort to extend the movement has to be in harmony with the movement method that we're working on. So if I'm overextended, right, and I'm struggling, I'm not, but if I am, you know, I'm struggling to be here. I can't do this. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Right? This is bent. That's intentional. And I can go back and forth. I can move. And yeah. Right? Being able to do that. Now, I should be able to come back up in one. I took two. That makes a difference. Can I move from that position? Can I get there? May I? Okay. Can I move from that position? All of these questions are part of the foundation for whatever it is you're doing. If you're, I'm going to go back to the feet because we're going to work on the feet still. If your foot position is not correct, if your weight is not well placed and you're not able to bend your ankles, not able to use your feet as you're moving, your movement will not be complete. Maybe mostly correct, but it won't be complete because that transition as we're moving extends through the whole body. The same as, here's my hand, the same as I extend my hand, fingertips open, everything, it's closed, now it's open, right? There is a similar, not the same, similar kind of thing that we want to be able to do with the foot and the ankle. So the foot doesn't open and close nearly as nicely as the hand does. It can, a little bit. You can grab with your foot. But we are not able to normally use our foot to grab with the same level of definition that we can with the hand. We do different things with the hands and with the feet. We have to be able to pay attention to what we're doing with the feet and the legs as we're moving. Here. This over here now, right? Set. Push from this leg. Transfer. Transfer. Don't push up and down. Transfer through to the other leg, right? Transfer the weight through. As you transfer the weight, the hands change position. This one's up, this one's down. Extend forward, extend up, extend down. Pay attention, what we just did here. Pay attention here, this turn. Then, as we step, pay attention to that upward and downward center. As you extend this hand, left hand, right hand, whichever is up, right? Extends fully from the foot, not from the outside of the wrist. Feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in, palms up. Breathe out, face down. Shift right, turn. Little step. Pay attention. Using the foot to draw the back foot to drive the front foot. Sink into both legs. Set. Extend. Don't go up and down. Set. Extend. Step through, not over. Sink. Come back to center. And breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Set, use the heel. Place the heel, push. Come back to center. And return to center. Hands down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in. And breathe out. Excuse me, breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. All right, relax. This type of practice, we're going to focus on this one thing right now. Pay attention to the feet, lower part of the leg, that foundation from placing the foot on the floor, how it's placed, how it's held, what we're doing with just that one body part, and how it contributes to every other movement that we're doing. The same type of practice, we could focus on the knee. I probably will at some point. All right, this again, the same type of practice. We could focus on the lower back, we could focus on the shoulders, we could focus on the hands. Each combination that we do, what's going on in my shoulder? Well, shoulder drops, elbow drops, and I start the momentum to carry the arm right here. Right here. That's what takes the arm up. A twist. That practice, I practiced that. I did. That practice we did this morning. We worked on that quite a bit this morning, actually. It's one element of the set. Ward off, pull down is another element in this set. Each time we pay attention to the fundamentals. Standing. Breathe in, breathe out. Small heavenly circle, large heavenly circle, tiny heavenly circle, circulating the breath, coordinating the breath, paying attention to how the body is placed, paying attention to all of the body parts, just standing right here. Standing. It's harder than it looks. It is. And what you gain from just doing that is the understanding of what it takes to quiet the body. If you can't be quiet enough to relax into that posture. Just standing posture, right? Basic standing posture. You can't place your body and be able to relax enough just to stand there. How can you develop the skill to relax while you're moving? That standing posture is how you do it. Each time you practice a little bit more, pay attention to one body part. Where's the tension? What do I need to do to loosen this up? What do I need to do to relax the lower back? What do I need to do to relax my knee? What about my ankle? Ankle's feeling pretty good right now. I've been paying attention to that all morning. That effort combines with all of the other days of effort so that at some point, different for everybody, could be a couple of weeks, could be a couple of months, it could be a little bit longer, could be a little bit shorter, it depends. At some point, when you're practicing, yeah, all right, how long do I need to stand here? 10 minutes. Okay. That's a long time. How about, did we start with 2? Just 2? That's still a long time. If you put it on the clock and you're standing there and you're not you haven't practiced it, at 2 minutes is a long time. We work on this kind of thing in Xingyi with Santi Bo. Stay there. Stay there. Pull up through the crown of the head. Pull up and in along the spine to hold the spine. Open the hip. Pull up through the hip so that the leg can fully extend. Keep the weight of the torso up on the, supported through the torso, not on the leg, so the leg only has to do the work that the leg has to do. Because otherwise your back leg's going to get real tired real fast. Feet well placed. Breath relaxed. Yeah, just stay there. Alright, relax. That posture, Santi Bo, 3 points practice, 3-point step. Pull up through the top of the head, extend to the front, down through the legs. All of it connected and complete through the whole body. Foundation practice for Xingyi. Stand here. It's easier. This is just stand here is easier than Santi Bo. You have to work a little harder at it. But that is the same idea. It's the same foundation. If your body's not well placed, if you're not well centered, then it's not going to ever feel like, for you, it's not ever going to feel like you could stay there. Somebody else looks at what you're doing, and if they know what they're looking at, they can see that you're uncomfortable. Okay? Back leg was uncomfortable. I moved it. Just stay there. Don't do anything. Focus inwardly. Pay attention to where each part of the body needs to be in good alignment. to be relaxed and yet doing the work that it needs to do to sustain the posture. And relax. That effort, stay there, do this, develops the skill to stay there longer, right? And that ability carries through every movement that we do. It's the foundation. How we move through every movement comes from these basic sets that we do that develop body parts, muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones, all of the body parts that we have that we're using. How are we using them? What are we doing with them? And then using that understanding to develop the movement and develop the way in which we move so that we can circulate the energy, so that we can develop the skills to move through each set at will. I hope you enjoyed class this morning. Thank you for being here. I will be back next week. I'm probably still going to be working on foundations. I got a lot of foundation stuff to cover. Thursday and Friday, Qigong class. I'll be here tomorrow with advanced sets. Thank you.